Hi everyone and welcome to episode 58 of United City Randomiser. If you've been watching these videos as they get released rather than months down the line when they're all available to you, then you'll notice that we haven't been around for a week or so. I had an old laptop that was struggling a little bit, decided to replace it, and it just took a while for that process to happen and for me to set up the new laptop. It's here now. This is the new look home screen. You can see there's a couple of extra panels in here just because my screen resolution is higher and the capabilities of the new computer is much higher. Processing power is quicker. Gameplay wise, we'll be looking at a 3D match engine for our highlights just because I can put all of the graphical content on high now and play it smoothly, so we'll see how that goes for us. But yeah, other than that, I'm not sure how much difference you'll notice, but it will help me in all of my processes in terms of the quickness of playing these saves and being able to format the videos, etc. So we're back, episode 58. Let's recap a little bit on where we were, because even I've forgotten slightly because I haven't been able to look at it for a little while. So financially we're doing okay. We're in season 6. We started in the Bundesliga 2. We're now in Bundesliga. We've been slowly climbing up into these European spots over the last couple of seasons. You can see in this particular season we're slightly outside of that, but in touching distance to quite a few teams above us and below us, it must be said. So it's all still to play for. We're in the middle of a European Champions League campaign, so let's go and have a look at how that's been going. Let's go into this one. So you can see that we qualified out of our group, and so we're in the first knockout stages. At the moment we're on the 23rd of December, so this will happen in February, so not for a while yet. But we drew a really tough draw against PSG, but that's for another day. You can see that we lost to Bayern Munich in the Super Cup at the beginning of the season. We're still in the German Cup, that's coming up in February also against Mönchengladbach, so again a topic for another day. So we're still going strong in these competitions. It's now time to focus our attention back on the Bundesliga a little bit, but today is the last game before the winter break. So we've got a game against Hertha Berlin, who are currently sitting in 11th and we're in 7th, so we've got a couple of spots ahead of them. And then we've got a couple of week break that the transfer window will kick off, and then I'll play these games behind closed doors, as it were, and we'll come back at the first game in February against Leipzig for the next episode, and I'll be able to tell you what happened in the transfer window. I'm hopeful that we'll do something in the transfer window. We've got a little bit of transfer budget that was given to us fairly recently and a little bit of wage structure to play with, so I'm hopeful that there'll be one or two bits. But I've already started the process in terms of being able to look at some young players. All of these are like 15-year-olds, and so it's just an opportunity to spend a little bit of money, because I was given 30 million randomly by the board mid-season because our finances were so good. So I thought now is a good opportunity to see if I can invest a little bit of that money in some young talent that hopefully in a couple of seasons will come through and begin to make an impact on our squad moving forward. So that's what I've done there. But in the January transfer window, I may well try and bring one or two players into the main first team as well, but we'll see. That's not a guarantee. It's just I would like to if I can. So that's where we're at. That was a bit of a quick run through, but I hope that most of you that are listening and watching this have been up to date with the save already anyway. So, and of course, if you're watching this months down the line and you're just able to bulk watch it, then the gap has made no difference to you at all. So welcome whoever is listening. I'm really happy you're here. As I say, today is against Hertha Berlin in the league, trying to get another 3 points on the board and see if we can move up a couple of spots in the next few games just to try and get back into contention for the Champions League spot. So that's all the ramble from me. Let's get into today's game and see what happens. So in terms of today's team, we can pretty much put our full strength side out. The only person that's got a bit of a knock is Harry Wilson, who would have been normally on the bench. But as I say, other than that, it's pretty good, pretty strong. So in the last few weeks of this particular save, a couple of players have broken into my first team, and that's Breyer and Horacio. They've usurped Kempf and Klunter. Not that these two haven't been playing quite well. They've done okay. But it's just about getting some of our younger talent into the side on a more regular basis and trying to build them up so we can move forward with them. So that's the intention there. So yes, today's side is pretty much full strength. It's Kabul in goal, Breyer at right back, DiMarco at left back, Gimba and Horacio as central defence, Gomez is the deep lying playmaker, Siflidis in central midfield support role, Gravenberch on the Metzaler attack role, Kundogdu on the right, Obando on the left, and Jovic up top. We've got Kempf, Klunter, De Silva, Seiki, Mount, Schweiger and Rollheiser on the bench. So yeah, all good really in terms of our fitness and the structure of our side at the moment. I've got no complaints. So Hertha are going to be playing a 4-2-3-1. We're playing our 4-3-3 formation. So there might be one or two gaps around and interesting spaces to try and exploit. We'll check that out as the game goes on. In terms of team talk, I've been quite positive and just suggested that I expect them to win today. I've tried to put a bit of pressure on them to actually go out and claim a victory. A couple of people are motivated. Most of the others are listening. And yeah, that's pretty much as I need to tell you really. So let's get into this particular game. So now we're in our 3D highlights. You can see the stadium a bit better and the surroundings a bit better than when we were having to play on the 2D match engine because my laptop previously couldn't really cope with it. So we'll see how we go. I mean, we might switch back to the 2D, we might not, but let me know whether you have a preference in the comments below. My preference is always, if we can, play the game at its height in terms of on the 3D match engine, but if that doesn't work for the viewership, then I'm open to all sorts. So Breyer on the free kick for us with our first opportunity for a highlight. Gravenberch puts it back out wide for Breyer, who first time crosses it in, a far post to Bando. And that was a lovely strike by Bando. Brilliant sweeping move. Nice pass out by Gravenberch. And then Breyer finds himself with the ball very far on the wide right. And he first time crosses it to the far post, and Obando hooks his left foot round it and powers it into the back of the net. And what a brilliant start that is after 19 minutes of gameplay. First highlight, you can see that the game's relatively even in terms of stats, but that's a good opportunity for us to get a good goal on the score sheet very early on in the game. So let's see if we can keep up that sort of pressure and find another route through. But the first half has gone very quickly. We're almost to the end of it, and there was no second highlight, really. Oh, here we go. There's an opportunity for them on the free kick, and it goes wide, fortunately, so we can go in 1-0 up at half-time. So I'm happy enough with how things are going. I mean, I'd quite like a few higher ratings than what we've got, but overall, I think, I can't be disappointed with 1-0 lead. So I'm just going to let my assistant try to encourage them for the second half. Got a little bit of motivation there. You can see that in fitness terms, most people are doing okay. I would suggest that Siflidis is slightly lower than most, but I think he's had a couple of knocks fairly recently, so that would be why. But we'll keep an eye on that. But other than that, everything's happy for me. So we'll go back into the second half and see whether we can get a couple more bits of highlights to talk about in the second half. It was very, very low on highlights in the first half. Although when the one highlight that you do get, you take a goal, I'm not too disappointed with that. After all, ultimately, it's a results business for me in terms of the way that we're trying to play and get points on the board. So I will take any form of victory I can, even if it's a bit of a dull one. So we've reached 70 minutes, nothing's happened. I'm going to pause the game there and make a couple of substitutions. Siflidis, as I say, is suffering a little bit, so I'm going to put Mount on and switch him and Gravenberch round. Jovic is doing fairly poorly in terms of his rating, so he can come off. I've got one more I can make. I think I'll take off Kundogdu and put Schweiger on. Schweiger's a decent option to bring on, and Kundogdu wasn't quite lighting the place up, so we'll take him off and restart the second half for the last 15 or 20 minutes. Hopefully it'll be quiet enough, although here they come for an opportunity, but it's partially cleared, picked up again on the loose ball by Hertha Berlin, and they work the ball again to their right hand side. Cross comes in, high looping cross, header at the back post, didn't have any power on it, but the goalkeeper spilled it and it had to get cleared away for a corner. A bit disappointed in the goalkeeper's reactions there. He should have been able to catch that quite happily. Corner comes in, cleared to the edge of the box. Rodrigo picks up the ball again for them, but again we get a foot in. Gravenberch was suggested to have fouled Rodrigo though, so there is a free kick for them on the edge of our box. Duda with the strike, and it goes wide. For a minute I didn't quite know where it was going, but it did go wide. And there's an opportunity to see where they almost got a goal but didn't quite. So that wasn't a bad highlight really. A couple of opportunities for them, but we stood firm and kept them out, and we've got about 5 minutes to go plus a bit of added time. They have a throw in right in the corner of their defensive end, so they've got quite a long way to go, but they bring it forward. And they sweep it across field to the left hand side and then back central again over the top for Miguel, and a good hand on the ball there from the goalkeeper. Comes back in again and Miguel's there again. Was there any sense of offside on that? I'll have to check that one out a little bit, but very disappointing in terms of how they managed to get the ball through twice for him to have decent opportunities. I think he was offside. Yes, he was, fortunately, but twice he got through there and had opportunities on goal that I'm not particularly impressed by. But again, we managed to survive. Here's an opportunity for us with Gravenberch on the free kick, far post. Oh, not far off from Rollheiser, but not enough good direction on the headed opportunity there from the free kick. And they come out with the ball, and I suspect this is the end of the game highlight, so it will just get passed around a little bit until the final whistle goes, and there's the final whistle. And so yes, we get a decent 1-0 win against a tricky opponent. I can't say that we lit the place up. They had possibly, yeah, they had more of the game than we did, but we came away with the points, and so I'm more than happy with that. So we'll tell them a good win, boys, well done, calmly, just so it doesn't go over the top. That looks to have got them a little bit happy, so hopefully that will move forward into the next game. In terms of what that next game will be, as we've said, we'll go and check the table out in a second, but the next game will be the Leipzig game after we've finished the transfer window, just so I can get all of that done. So I'll play Dortmund and Braunschweig away from the episodes, and the next episode will come back for Leipzig, and we'll talk about any transfer dealings that we've done and play that game too. In terms of the table, well, you can see that most teams around us have now played their 17th game alongside us. It's only Bayern and Dortmund, so one or other of those will probably lose out, you would imagine. So I think that's a pretty good place for us to sit really at the end of December, the end of the calendar year of 2023, sitting in fourth place on 30 points. Lots of close teams around us, so we're in with a shout with lots of different options here in terms of where we'll finish. But hopefully the second half of the season will be a positive one. So thanks very much for joining me. Bit of a strange episode for me, just to get back into the save a little bit, as I say, having not been able to play it for a week or so. But we're back up and running now, so I hope to see you in the next episode. Thanks very much for joining me though. If you enjoyed the series so far, why not chuck a subscribe on the channel and keep up to date with the videos. If you enjoyed this episode, why not like the episode, click the like button, so that will help me get seen by other people. That helps my channel, which is great. But other than that, I'm just really happy you're joining me. If you're playing Football Manager yourself, let me know how you're getting on with your save in the comments below. But until next time, take care of yourselves. I will see you soon, and bye for now. Thanks very much for watching this episode of the United City Randomiser save. If you enjoyed the video, then why not click on the like button, as that would really help me. If you think you know anyone who would really enjoy my Football Manager content, then feel free to share this with them. But most importantly, if you would like to join my United City here on YouTube, then hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with my video releases. If you have anything you want to say about the United City save or the channel itself, then feel free to leave a comment below, but please try and be nice with each other. That'll do for today, so until next time, stay happy and healthy, and I will see you soon.